Hello students, how are you? Today we are going to continue chapter number 11, Force and Pressure, and this is Amita from Good Samaritan School. And as you know, what is force? A force is a push or a pull. So you all must have played tug of war. So you may understand where do you push and where do you pull, isn't it? You pull the rope and you apply force. So push or pull on an object is called force, and as you know it has certain effects of force. For example, it can change the state of rest or motion of the body, and it can change the size or shape of the body, as you have studied earlier, so we are not going into deep. And what are the two types of forces? You have studied this also, contact force and non-contact force. So non-contact force and contact force, what is the difference between them? Force is experienced by bodies when they are in physical contact with each other. Example are muscular force and frictional force. In both the forces, it is due to some interaction and some contact. So forces due to muscle is called muscular force, and forces acting opposite to the direction of motion is called frictional force. And in non-contact force, force experienced by bodies even if they are not in physical contact with each other. What are the examples? What are the types of forces under it? Magnetic force, electrostatic force and gravitational force. So you all know that magnets exert forces, so that is called magnetic force, and they are not in contact. In electrostatic force, force exerted by a charged body on another charged body, it is electrostatic force. In gravitational force, what happens? Attractive force exerts between the two objects. So here you can see what is friction. So examples of frictions are ball rolling on floor stops after some time due to friction, and large heavy box is, we require to move a heavy box with lot of force, that is due to friction. So why friction occurs? What are the causes of friction? It is due to the rough surfaces. So if the large number of irregularities are there, or the surface is rough, then there will be frictional force and it will be more frictional force. And if the surface is very smooth, then what will happen? Then the friction force will be less. Okay. What about electricity, that is electrostatic force? In that case, you can see one example. If you take a comb and you rubbed with hair, and what will happen? It will charge negatively. It gets negatively charged and it attracts piece of paper. What are the properties of magnet and what is magnetic force? You have seen here there are two poles of magnets. Magnets are two poles, north pole and south pole. So when a magnet is suspended freely, it is always in the north south direction, and magnets always attract objects made up of iron and steel, and poles always exist in pairs and they cannot be separated. And now see the summary. Force, it is a push or pull, and it is frictional force, gravitational force, that is gravity, magnetic force and electrostatic force. And you all can see there are different forces in our surroundings. Now what is pressure? How do we calculate it? So pressure is the force per unit area and is calculated by the formula pressure is equal to force upon area, force divided by area. So can you see here, force divided by area, and you can see pressure is measured in some terms, that is called newtons per square meter. That means force, the unit of force is newton and the unit of area is meter square. So because they are in division form, so force, that is newton, that is n, and area is meter square. That is why we are saying it is measured in Newton meter square. There are other formulas also, other measurement also. We will not discuss that in detail. And now you can see here we can derive different formulas from pressure itself. So pressure is equal to force upon area. Now when we want to find the formula for area, then we will just find out from the particular formula. So force upon pressure is the formula for area. And what is the formula for force? Area into pressure. Now let us see what are in detail. We will see what is pressure, and pressure depends on what factors. Okay, so now as you see, pressure is equal to force upon area, and it depends on two factors. That is, if the more force is applied, then more pressure will be there, and if the area is greater, then lesser the pressure, and if it is lesser the surface area, then it will be more pressure. So we will be knowing when we will explain you with the example. So as I told you, SI unit is Newton meter square, and it can be called as Pascal, and it is denoted by capital P small a. So 1 Newton divided by 1 meter square. That is what I was telling you. Pressure is measured in Newton meter square, but SI unit is Pascal. And what are the daily life examples? So do you have your school bags with the wider straps or with the lesser straps? So if you have wide straps, then you will have less pain. That means greater the surface area, less pressure. That means if the school bag has more wide straps, then you will not have the pain. And if the sharp knife is there that cuts better than blunt knife. Why? Because sharp knife, it has less area, and blunt knife, it has more area. Okay, so if the knife becomes blunt, you sharpen it, and what do you do? You try to reduce the area by sharpening it. And buildings have wider foundation. That's how it gives, if the greater more areas will be there, then less pressure will be there. And if you wear different kind of shoe, that is also, it depends on certain pressure. So you can see it is easier to walk or stand with flat shoes rather than shoes with sharp heels. Okay, so let's do an interesting activity. So in which case pain is more? So let's see case A and case B. A lady is wearing sneakers on Monday, and you are sitting on a bench reading newspaper. She starts jogging and accidentally puts her steps on your foot. So do you have pain in that case? Let's see the second case. Same lady is wearing heels on Tuesday. You are sitting on a bench waiting for a friend. She was walking. In order to take rest, she moves towards the bench and accidentally steps on your foot. What happened? It is painful, isn't it? So you can see in these two cases, the area is more. So you will not have pain. So more area, less pressure. In this case, the area is very small. So less area and more pressure, and you will have more pain. Isn't it interesting? Now, pressure will also exert. It is exerted by liquids and gases. So liquid exert pressure on the walls of a container. Liquids exert pressure on the bottom of the container. It depends on the height of the liquid column. And liquid exerts pressure sideways, and liquids exert equal pressure at the same height. So you can see diagram over here. So I'll be explaining in the next slide. You can see a liquid exerts pressure on the walls of the container. So when you fill the bottle with the water, you can see it is exerting pressure on the walls. That is why if you place a hole and you insert a balloon or you fix a balloon in it, so what will happen, the water will come here. That means a liquid is exerting pressure on the walls of the container. Now let's see what happens when you take different types of pipes and you attach balloons. Now when you attach balloon and you fill water in the pipe, so in one pipe you are filling half water and in another pipe you are filling more water. So in that case the balloons will start bulging out. In what case the balloons are bulging more? In the second one the balloons are bulging more. So it depends on the height of the water column. Okay. Now you see there are holes in the water bottle and the water is gushing out of the holes. So that means it flows from the sideways and with the equal depth. Now same another diagram is here and you have put holes A, B, C and D. So they are all different depths. So what will happen, pressure exerting here depends on the height of the column or height of the water. Now, what is atmospheric pressure? Atmospheric air extends up to many kilometers above the surface of the earth. The pressure exerted by this air is known as atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure is the weight of air in a column unit area. So atmospheric pressure is measured by barometer. And what do we do in that? We measure weight of the air and lower the pressure. What will happen? Atmospheric pressure decreases as the altitude increases. That means height increases. So if you go to any place where maximum height is there, then atmospheric pressure is high. Atmospheric pressure decreases over here. So if you go to mountain which is very high, then atmospheric pressure decreases. So let's see some examples. We get earache. That means ear pain when we travel by airplane. And a rubber sucker pressed on a surface sticks to it because of the atmospheric pressure. And when drinking with straw, one has to suck the straw. These all are examples of atmospheric pressure. Now you see, why don't you get crushed when lot of pressure is on your head? So you can see here the reason that we are not crushed under the force of gravity or atmospheric pressure, because inside our body there is equal amount of atmospheric pressure. And what happens, in our body also there are forces, and because of the pressure present inside our body and the pressure is also exerted by outside, so it balances the pressure from outside because we have the pressure inside also. So that's how we are not getting crushed by the heavy atmospheric pressure. So that's all for today, and you can revise whatever you have studied in force and pressure chapter. So you have studied what is force, push or pull, and then you studied different types of forces: gravitational, magnetic, frictional, muscular, that is contact and non-contact. And then you studied about effects of forces, and then you studied about direction and speed. Then you studied about pressure, and what did you study in that? Liquid exerts pressure. You studied about atmospheric pressure, and then you also studied that what is the formula for pressure and how can you calculate it, and you studied the daily life examples of pressure. That's all for today. Thank you, students.